All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Wednesday. As always, I'm Jalen Vasquez, the director of Freelancers Hub. We have another wonderful event for you today. We've had this event. This might be the third time we've ever had this specific topic. And the topic today is that your ancestors are blocking your financial success. So you might be wondering, what does that mean? We're going to be talking a lot about how we're taught money from our family, from our parents, those around us, and how it affects how we do business. So we're going to be talking a lot about personal experiences, kind of getting over those, I guess, biases you would say of just how we're taught how to handle money, how to deal with money, how to talk about money with people around us. Where does it come from? And hopefully by the end of today, you'll have a shift in your mindset of just how you hope, or at least maybe some sort of plan to attack of how you will approach money moving forward. This event is led by one of our favorite speakers, Miss Diana Zelvin. She is a business coach, psychotherapist, speaker, and entrepreneur who's been helping people and organizations grow and thrive for close to 30 years. She's been empowering hundreds of people to get unstuck, create a limitless business and life through her workshops, events, coaching, and psychotherapy practice, and in her Thrive Now business. And she loves helping a lot of our members, a lot of freelancers and creatives in the field. So we're very happy to have you back with us. And if you do have any questions, please write them in the chat. I will look at them as we go. And this event is being recorded and will be sent out to everyone later today. And you'll have access to the recording for up to 30 days. But without further ado, let me see if I can pin Diana. There we go. I think that worked.
Not yet.
All right, maybe it's the other one. I can never remember if it's pin or spotlight. So let me try spotlight instead.
There we go.
Cool.
Thank you, Jalen. Such a great warm welcome. And thank you everyone for joining. I'm excited about this topic. And anyone who comes to my workshops knows we like to have fun. Because learning should be fun, right? So get ready. I want to get you engaged. So feel free when prompted or when not prompted to join the chat. And I'll do my best to try to read what I can. Jalen's going to help me out there. But I'm Diana Zelvin. I'm a business coach and psychotherapist who helps business owners and freelancers such as yourselves build profitable businesses doing work that you love. And I just want to mention in the work that I do with my coaching clients that this mindset work around money, around imposter syndrome, and around building confidence is just part of the work we do to help them grow their business. And I help people get crystal clear on what they really want to achieve, how to articulate their offering to others, because people don't necessarily have that down. And we work on marketing and attracting your ideal clients, and then how to charge your real value. And then we plot out a roadmap and timeline with the strategies to get you there. So that's the work that I do. So we're going to start off today listening just for a couple minutes to a couple of different songs. And so I want you to pay attention to the lyrics and let's see what resonates for you. So please bear with me while I try to screen share. And okay, hold on, almost there. Oops. Okie doke.
I don't think you have your sounds.
Oh, it's not on? No, you can hear the sound?
I can't, no. Yeah, I think you have to change in your share screen settings to also include the sound.
Oh, sorry. See, technical difficulties already. Hold on, let me stop the screen share. So screen share, oh, share sound. Duh. Okay, there we have it. All right, that should be good. And tell me if we hear it. Start there.
People will steal from them, people will rob woman will sell her precious body for a small piece of paper. It carries a lot of weight. Oh, that great almighty dollar. Talking about, I know that money.
Money, I'm in love with money. Honey's, all I want is honey. Money, I'm in love with money. Honey's, all I want is honey. Money, gotta have the money. Throw some more in the air, keep it coming.
The best things in life are free, but you can give them to the birds and bees and me. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want. Your love gives me such a thrill, but your love it don't pay my bills. I need money. That's what I want. That's what I want.
Okay. Is my sound good now? Okay, great. The first song was the OJ's For the Love of Money, and the second song was Money, That's What I Want. So the first song was about how bad money is and how all the bad things it does and how it's the root of all evil. The second song, she was talking about how much she wants money and how it empowers her. I couldn't play the whole thing. But I want you guys, if you could put in the chat, number one, if you relate to the first song, kind of the money is root of all evil, or the second song that you want money and it's empowering. And let's see, open up the chat so I can see what people are saying. Both. I know, right? Lila, we have conflicting feelings about money. Jamie, I relate to both. It's confusing. Both, a lot, both. Second song. All right, Amy. Neither. Okay, we'll find out in the line which through the talk what comes up for you. I want money. It's empowering. Neither. Both. I'm somewhere in between. Thank you, guys. Thanks for playing along. So, that just shows you that we have beliefs about money that you might not have even given much thought to before. I love the comments. Money isn't the root of all evil. Love money. Una, money empowering, also problematic in many ways. That's what we're going to be talking about today. So you probably didn't even know, you don't think about that much. What is my relationship to money? But where do our views come from? Because obviously we're not born with any beliefs about money, right? Babies are a blank slate. They're just thinking about, I need a cuddle or feed me, change me. But check this out. Our relationship with money is actually formed by the time we're 7 years old. Can you believe that? 7. So where do we learn stuff from when we're little? Our parents, of course, right? They learned ideas about money from their parents, and your grandparents learned views about money from their parents, and so on and so on. And through the generations, your ancestors have actually sadly passed down their financial traumas, their anxieties about money to you without you even knowing it, if you can imagine that. So this is a very important issue because the messages we learn from our families are not only keeping you from being more profitable, but they are most likely sabotaging your financial future. Our negative beliefs about money are one of the main reasons people struggle to make more of it. Many people hold subconscious beliefs that money is bad, that being wealthy is not aligned with being a good person, or that it's hard to come by. So these limiting beliefs actually create resistance to financial success. and you unconsciously sabotage your efforts to earn more. So we're going to unpack that a little bit more later. But today we're going to kick out your ancestral ghosts and create your money mindset that you want so that you can start making more with confidence. Let's see. And some people do a slideshow. I like this because I find slideshows a little boring on Zoom, and maybe this helps be engaging. But you can take a screenshot, you'll get the recording, you can take notes, any of the above. But today, in today's workshop, we're going to uncover the messages your parents and ancestors passed down. We're going to identify your underlying thoughts, fears, and beliefs that keep you stuck. You're going to discover how that's impacting your business life and financial future. And then we're going to discuss what you can do about it so that you can open your doors to abundance and financial success. And please stay to the end of the workshop and you will hear all the details of the special offer I have for everyone attending today. Oh, and Jalen, I'll give you the link later. So I forgot to give you my link. So stay for that. I also recommend if you have a pen and notepad handy, because we're going to do a little bit of writing to unpack it all. Sorry, the chat is so good. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Nehema. Money itself is not bad. It is our use and perception of it that causes corruption. This is part of what we're going to be talking about today. So thank you for that comment. So who here wants to really know your beliefs, about what your beliefs about money are that block you from making more? Put a hell yeah in the chat. Who here wants to know what you can do about it? Put that hell yeah in the chat. And who here, most importantly, wants to be a badass at making money? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Snap yeah. Elaine. Oh yeah, like the devil, Amy. Give me that money, Elaine. Hands up. Hell yeah. And make me believe it. Right. That's the work. That is the work, Elaine. So that's today. I'm going to help you have a complete mindset shift to get you on the right path. And the reason we have to shift our mindset is because our thoughts lead to our actions. They actually cause us to have certain feelings, and our feelings lead to what actions we do or don't take. And the actions we do or don't take lead to our results. So our thoughts create our results in life. So focusing on our thoughts is critical. And before we dive into things, I want to briefly share a little bit about my background and how it led me to be so keen on this topic. So the first decade of my professional life, I was like a lot of you guys, I was a freelance illustrator. But ever since then, the 30 years since then, yes, I'm 61. So I've had a long professional life. I've been self-employed. So I know the freelancer life. And over the 3 decades of being a psychotherapist, a business coach, and entrepreneur, I've also done a lot of other cool things too. I've led and built impactful community projects. I've worked with organizations and businesses on fundraising and business development. And in total, I brought in more than 8 figures for these organizations and projects. And that includes $2 million I raised for my own health club chain startup and $2 million I raised for my son's New York City public school to build a beautiful greenhouse rooftop hydroponic classroom. But even though I was bringing in millions for other causes, I wasn't making a lot of money for myself. So what was up with that? Well, some of the answers all started with a game of Monopoly. Now, I don't like board games as a rule because mostly playing games as a kid with my brother was extremely stressful because if he wasn't winning, he would fly into a rage. But nevertheless, one day I found myself playing Monopoly with my son and husband against my better judgment. I never win at Monopoly, but feeling like bold that day, I decided, the heck with being Mrs. Nice Guy. I'm going to buy up as many properties as I could. So I did. and I bought everything I landed on. I was winning by a lot. I had hotels and houses everywhere, and I was raking in the money. But my son, he was not, and he was mortgaging his properties, and he was looking very miserable. And my husband, he just kept landing in jail, so he was really getting annoyed. But how did I feel? Like utter crap. I did not enjoy winning or seeing them look so unhappy. And who thought board games was a good idea anyway? But I had this light bulb moment that being more successful than those I care about might hurt them. That the more I explored this issue, I found that this was just one of my beliefs subconsciously blocking me from financial success. And my fear of success was that winning or having more than my siblings would hurt them and was dangerous to me. And if I made a lot more money than them, if I had a better quality of life than them, they might resent me. And I'm hurting them and making them feel bad. But the truth is that success can lift up the other people around you. You're a role model for them. You inspire them. And if you are successful, the people you work with become more successful too. And if others are envious, that's because of their own issues. You didn't cause them and you can't control how they feel. I have plenty of other, limiting beliefs around money that I learned from my family that was passed down that I also have been working on. And as we all have many, many layers to always uncover. But now I know how to bring them into my awareness and how to change my views. And once I got to work on changing my money mindset, not only have I been able to double my income every year, but it's part of the work I do with my coaching clients so that they are more profitable and have more financial freedom and happier in their lives. So this is what we're going to talk about today. So I want you to put, and show me the money. What do you think? I want you guys to put in the chat, what do you think is the number one thing that you need to focus on in order to be successful? I give you a minute. What is the most important thing that you have to work on? Self-esteem. That's right. Amy says self-esteem. Darcy, you nailed it. My mindset. Sonia, mindset. Yeah, mindset. Mina, getting my own way. Right, mindset, getting on my own right. Sense follow through. See, this is all this discipline, faith I can do without working myself to death, let go of fear. Defining what is enough. See, everything you guys are putting in is mindset, right? Thank you. Time management. But if we don't work on our mindset, then we procrastinate and avoid, right? And our time gets away. So it always comes back to mindset. We do have to work on time management. But cause our mindset is everything, because what we think about, we bring about, right? Just sit with that for a minute. What we think about, we bring about. The thoughts we have every day are super duper powerful. They determine what we focus on, what actions we take, and the results we get in life. So if anyone's been to my talks, you may have heard me talk about these statistics, but I just love them because they really are so powerful and eye-opening. But if you can believe that on an average day, any one of us has 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. That's a lot of thoughts. And 80%, approximately 80% of them are negative, right? Yowza, that's a lot of negativity. And get this, according to neuroscientists, 95% of our brain activity is in our subconscious mind. That's 95%. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Meaning that every day your negative subconscious thoughts are responsible for the majority of decisions you make and the actions you take in your life. So our lives are basically being run by our subconscious thoughts. So that's kind of scary when you think about it, right? Like we're not even aware of these thoughts that are running our lives. So what are your thoughts really costing you? Because it may be a lot more than you even realize. I keep looking because it's backwards on my screen. So I want you to ask yourselves what the negative thoughts around money can be costing you. You know, are you making enough money right now? Are you making the kind of money you want to be making? How does your income affect how you feel about yourself? How does your income affect your relationships or your personal life? Are you avoiding new opportunities? Are you fully living the life you want to live? So, if you can, if you want to share, put in the chat what you think your current beliefs about money could be costing you. Is it more opportunities, a higher income, a secure financial future, good positive self-esteem, your mental health, your relationships? Is it the life that you want? You're in all of that. Definitely higher income, Darcy. Yeah. Oh, and the thing that came up last time I gave this talk, people kept putting in sleep. It's costing them a good night's sleep. I think that's a really common one, right? It's keeping you up at night. So, yeah, that's why we have to do something about this. Let's see what people said. Freedom and Harris, freedom and work-life balance. Jamie, feeling successful. Elaine, rarely truly present, right? Because you're preoccupied. Monica, missed opportunities. Amy, sleep. Elaine, low self-value. Thank you, guys. So who here believes that money is the root of all evil? I know that was the song, the first song we came up with. Yep. Or that rich people do bad things to become wealthy. Right? So I do not. Yep. We put in the chat. But I do not all the time, sometimes. Yeah. The number one thought that holds most people, right, Nahima, rich people are bad people. Okay. Lila, that's why you're here. I'm gonna challenge you. Soul selling is the highest commodity, Kayla. Yikes. The number one thought that holds most people back from acquiring more money is that we learned it's bad to want to be wealthy, or some version of money is the root of all evil. So here's the paradox. Here's the dilemma. We think we want to make more money, but internally we may be conflicted and even against acquiring wealth and prosperity. Because if you've been taught that wanting more is greedy, morally wrong, you're going to feel guilty or ashamed for wanting more. And let's face it, you certainly don't want to be a selfish, greedy, evil person, do you? I mean, who wouldn't want to avoid that, right? So we subconsciously actually reject and block money coming in. Oh my God, that's crazy. So this is how we do it. God made man, answer. God made man made money, money made man mad. Ooh, some juicy things for us to dig into here, though. I love these. There are some interesting comments here, Abdul. So here are some of these subconscious self-sabotaging behaviors that people deploy. We spend recklessly to get rid of money, right? You're overspending. You lend a lot of money to friends and family, or you buy expensive gifts for others, or you may avoid important financial decisions. You procrastinate on business possibilities that you could earn more, or you undercharge for your work. That's a common one. Maybe you avoid learning about financial management, or you downplay your ability to succeed, and you may be keeping yourself small by not charging your value. So if we believe that rich people are bad, how can we actually be open to acquiring wealth, right? While there are some wealthy people who suck, there are some wealthy people who are kind of amazing. Just like there are some poor people who suck, but there's some poor people who also are kind of amazing. But our thoughts and beliefs really do shape our reality. And that is why it is very importante to uncover what your subconscious beliefs about money are. And so see what's going on in the chat. Okay, we're going to get into the family stuff now. So as I said, we learn our beliefs about money from our family, right? By the time we're 7. So, and all of us have heard or absorbed messages and about money that is passed down for generations because our families' experiences and beliefs about money have a huge impact on our relationship with money. It shapes our views, how we think about it, how we feel about it, what we do about it, and whether we believe we even deserve it. And often in families, talking about money is like taboo, it's dirty, it's like talking about sex. I don't think it's dirty, but I think families have that sense, so they don't talk about it. And most parents did not have open, healthy, or educational conversations about money with their kids. So put in the chat if anyone's parents taught them, Kayla, money is still taboo. Did anyone's parents here to sit down and talk to them about money and how to manage it and how wonderful it could be for their life? So I'd like to know. Dawn, nope. Bullshit. Literally never. Darcy's like, right, Emily, my parents never talk positively about money. Nope. Lisa says, nope. Make a lot of it. Okay. Lily's parents said, make a lot of it. Sonia talked about money, but not how to manage it. Yeah, your parents may encourage you to make a lot, but did they explain how to make a lot, right? Oh my God, Kayla, I was told at 13 I was going to be in debt. Oh my gosh. Wow, that's heavy. Okay. So see what we learn from our parents. So let's start accessing the views your family had about money. What did your parents, your grandparents, your great grandparents experience in their life that could have played in part in how they felt about money? So this is what I want you to think about, your backgrounds. Did you have family in the Holocaust? Are you descendants of slavery? Was your family, your ancestors Depression era kids? Were they immigrants from another country? Were they escaping, persecution, poverty, or war? They wanted a better life. And as each generation goes through hard times or even atrocities, they unintentionally teach their children their fears and anxieties. So I want you to think about what your family may have gone through. So, for example, a lot of my ancestors came to this country in the 1880s, and they were escaping anti-Jewish policies and pogroms in Eastern Europe. And I can only imagine they didn't speak the language. They probably came with very little. They may not have been able to get jobs, but somehow they had to figure out how to pay for food, clothing, and rent. And at that period of time, our country, we had the largest surge of immigrants, and the Lower East Side had like 2.3 million people packed in. It was like the most densely populated community in the country. People like living on top of each other. So how did they get work and how did they survive? Like you really think about these things. They're living multiple families in one room. Like it was really crazy. And that still happens today, right? With immigrants today. So how do you think your ancestors or families' experiences impacted their views on money? Now, we may not know for sure, but we can take an educated guess. So I want you to we're just going to take a minute and, you can screenshot stuff. This is something you can work on outside of this, but take a minute and write down how you think their experiences impacted how they view money. Like what prejudices, what lack of civil rights or language barriers did they face that may have impacted their ability to earn a decent living? Someone said they're a descendant of slavery. So, I mean, think about that. I mean, that's mind-boggling. Like, you're not allowed, well, when you're tortured, you're not allowed though to have a job. You're an indentured slave. You even when families became free, how are they going to get work? Did they even have an education? Were they even literate? You weren't allowed to be married. You weren't allowed to take care of your family. So this shit, oh, sorry, is passed down. It's really horrible. Yeah, I know, Jamie. My mom had a whole envelope of coupons too. Okay. Oh, Lisa, your parents were born in Laos in poverty. But your grandparents, they worked hard to create a business. So that could be a good role model. The mindset though about hard work and money, I hope we get to talk to, because that can be another thing that trips us up. If we learn the only way to make a lot of money is you have to work so hard that you have no life. And I will challenge people on that one. But your grandparents had to do what they had to do, Lisa, for sure. So, for example, I had a client who her mother and her grandmother were from the Soviet Union. And sadly, they lost all their money, all their savings that was in the bank there when the economy collapsed in the Soviet Union in the 1990s. And now this client who has an excellent job and she makes a very good salary. She doesn't trust banks here because of what her family went through. But not only that, because of what they went through, she suffers a lot of anxiety that she's going to lose it all and she's one step away from being homeless. So this is what this stuff does to our mindset. Okay, so now let's get into what are some common views or messages you heard your parents express about money? We're going to really get to the meat of it. So these are a lot of common ones that I, hear from clients and, I'll talk about in my own home too. But, money doesn't grow on trees, meaning there's not enough to go around. So it's too hard to get. Money goes out faster than it comes in, meaning you, the child, need too much. So there's a lot of shame and guilt associated with these comments too. Money is the root of all evil, right? It's bad to want to make money. I'm not made of money. Many parents said that, like, don't ask me, you need too much. We don't have it. A lot of families, like their children starving in Africa. You are wasteful. You have more than you need. Um, we can't afford it. That's a very common one. There's just not enough, right? My dad liked to say, can't squeeze water from a stone. So whatever his parents and his grandparents, when they came over, I know they did open a dry goods store, but whatever was passed down, they held on to what they had. And my dad felt so strongly about this that after he died, I found some correspondence he wrote to a cousin. And in it, he wrote that when he died, he was going to leave his children nothing, so we'd have nothing to fight over. So thank you, Dad. That mission was accomplished. But to see how deep this stuff goes. So who heard any of these things growing up? Nahima, it's very, I apologize if I'm saying your name wrong. You'll have to tell me how to say it. It's very hard for Black people to make a lot of money in America. So this is, their experience is based on their reality, right? So we have to overcome because there are a lot of obstacles, definitely for people of color. So this is where our mindset comes in. Moreover, they didn't teach school, especially for artists. Heard most of these things, Emily. Oh, Nahima, you're saying it right. Okay, cool. Yeah, so all of it, Lorraine, all of it. All right. So do you see how these messages, like over and over, however old you are, you've heard them for years and years and years, and it is a kind of brainwashing, right? We internalize it. So we have to unwash, and we're going to talk about what we're going to do. But what were your family's attitudes about money? Did they have a moral stigma about the pursuit of money? Did they judge other people for having a lot? Were they frugal or savers, hoarders or spenders? Were they withholding or generous beyond their means? So we could have all the strategies in the world and we could set all the goals we want. But unless we get really clear about what our money issues are, our blind spots will keep us financially blocked. So I want you to think about in what way, I'm asking you a lot of questions to think about. So, write down these questions and work on this too at home, because I know we don't have enough time here. But in what way do you think your parents or ancestors' beliefs and experiences have affected your views, your fears in your life today? And Maria, no one talked about, so I don't even really know, really. That's the part that sucks. Lisa, save, save, save. Right. Mom judged her kisser's kids are saying their parents are poor. It was judgmental. Yes, Anne, be thankful for what you have. Yeah, that can imply that you're not being right. If your parents said that to them, that's guilt inducing, like you're not thankful, right? Thank you, Kayla. Amina, my parents had disdain for money. Ooh, and people who have it, yet obsessed with getting more at the same time. Right. They were envious because they couldn't figure out maybe how to do it, but it might have been their mindset around it. Elaine, I already hate money. It didn't show up for my family when I was a kid. And then I believed the starving artist vibe. Me too. I was an artist. It's noble to be a starving artist. I was really on that bandwagon. So yeah, Wendy, mom was always wanting more for us while dad thought we couldn't afford. She pushed anyway. It was stressful. It's so stressful, so stressful. So now we're going to start uncovering what your thoughts and your beliefs and your fears about money really are. And if I'm talking fast, I'm looking at the clock and it amazes me how quickly the time goes because I really want to read the comments. So I will try to keep on track. So take a couple of minutes, a minute, and write down a few things that come to mind when you think about money. What are some of the things you say to yourself? Now, these are some common themes I hear from clients, right? I can't afford it. I'm not good at managing money. I don't know how to make money. Making money is hard. Rich people are greedy. You only get rich by stepping on others. Being poor is noble. No, it actually isn't. And if I charge more, I'll lose clients, right? That's a common one. Charging more is selfish. And this one I hear a lot. I don't do this work for the money. Okay, that may be true. You do the work because you love doing that kind of work, but you have to also want to do it for the money because you have to take care of yourself, right? So we're going to switch that mindset up a little. And I just need enough so I don't worry. But that's a very common one. I just need enough so that I don't worry. But what I found is there is no price tag on worry. There's no amount that will keep you worry free, like the client I mentioned whose family lost money in the Soviet Union. I have clients also who came from wealth and they really worry about it. They feel, sometimes they feel I can never make that kind of money that my ancestors made. So I'm not capable of making money and that can be crippling. I have one client who's had a lot of money, but they lived so frugally. It was just all in the bank. It did nothing but sit in the bank. And his grandparents would make him collect calls and where he had like a jacket, like taped up with electrical tape. So it's not about how much you have, it's how you think about it. So if you can relate to any of these, put in the chat. Emily, I have trauma from being horrible in math my entire life. It's too late to start saving now. And a lot of people have math fear. And, when I'm working with people, I really teach them how to look at their finances and it's not, and it's not as scary or complicated as people think. Okay. So these are some things that you may be thinking about. And now let's get into your fears. So those are the thoughts, and these are some of the fears. Monica says it's too late to start saving now. It's never too late. Amy, numbers are too cold and calculating. Well, we're going to make them warm and fuzzy. So what are your biggest fears about money? So take a minute or do this after, but write down a few things that come to mind, right? You really want to get into your fears. And I'm trying to help show you like what your parents went through connects to what you're afraid of, right? I'm never going to make a lot of money. I won't be able to make enough to support myself and my family. I won't be able to meet my rent or mortgage or monthly bills. If I make the wrong decisions, I could lose everything. I am one paycheck away from being homeless. I won't have enough money to save for retirement at old age or my old age. No, and this is big one for me, that no one in my family was financially successful. They kept every generation, one failure after the next. And my fear was I was going to be just like them. I'll look greedy if I want to make a lot of money, right? That's a common one. If I did make a lot of money, people will envy me and it will make them feel bad, right? So if I get sick, it's over. Oof. Only Elaine, only a step or two away from being unhoused. Oof. I will make, so we will squander all the hard work my family had. Jamie, Lisa, at this rate, I won't have enough money for retirement or raise a family. Oh, and what happens when all my family dies and I can't support myself? Okay, so these are really painful fears. Lila, I will fail if I try to make money and feel worse about myself. Okay, so see how all these thoughts can really be doing a number on our self-esteem, a good night's sleep. So I'm gonna teach you on how we can change some things around. Because our frequent fears even cause physical and emotional problems, right? Our mind and body goes into fight, flight, or even freeze, and we may become paralyzed from taking action. We struggle with indecision, avoidance, procrastination, or even burnout, and it can lead to chronic anxiety and depression. Money worries cause us a lot of serious problems. So I think you guys wrote down what your fears and thoughts are about them. So this is the class I would sign up for now. This is the class. Jennifer, it's safe to be an employee, not an entrepreneur. That's true. A lot of people believe there's security in a job than in freelancing. So I think that, you don't have as much security in a job because you could get laid off anytime. In freelancing, this is what I like to teach my clients, you are in charge of your destiny, that you are empowered. Now, it's not easy to be a freelancer, but it's not like you lose one job and you're finished. But anyway, the good news is, we're going to do the good news, that this is, now that these things are in your awareness, or they're starting to be in your awareness, you can start to have a different relationship with money. Having a relationship with money, you really want to think about it like having a relationship with a person, right? We wouldn't abuse our friends. We wouldn't talk down to them. We wouldn't be mean to them, right? We would love them. We would embrace them. We would support and nurture them. And that's how I want you to think about money. Because you don't have to adopt your family's limiting beliefs and values around money. You don't. Now you're aware of them. Now we have to do the work. Now this is where the work comes in. But you get to choose the beliefs you want to have about money and wealth. You get to decide what you want your relationship with money to be like. You get to decide if you want to make a lot of money because it gives you more freedom and options. It's a form of self-care. I mean, it really is. It can make your business thrive and be financially sound. You want to make money because you're entitled to be financially successful. It helps you take care of your family, yourself and your family. You get to do more in the world, right? If you have more money. And it lifts you and others up around you. So you can decide that you're not going to stay small. Who's here with me on that? Put a hell yeah in the chat. You don't want to stay small anymore. And just to try, like I did, to make others more comfortable, right? Hell yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Let's be bold, right? It's self-care and it helps everyone around you. It doesn't serve you to stay small or them. Emily, yeah, I work too hard to not have the money I want. Hell yeah. Monica, yes. Hell yeah. So not only can we not control what other people think about us, but we may inspire them, like I mentioned. When you make more money, there are a lot of positive ripple effects in the world. So most often people struggle with money because they learned how to have the scarcity mindset. Scarcity mindset is when you believe opportunities, resources, and wealth are limited. You experience feelings of not having enough. You see life as a finite pie, that there are not enough slices to go around for everyone. I don't know if this resonates. You think a lot about what you don't have. Spend a lot of time ruminating about what you don't have. But the key to having more is shifting from scarcity mindset to an abundant mindset. An abundant mindset is when you believe there are unlimited amount of opportunities, resources, and wealth in the world for you and everyone else. Because there are. In this country alone, there's 270 million people. There's a lot out there. It's a lot of money out there. An abundant mindset opens us up to receiving more because you become more open to possibilities and new opportunities to make money. You believe you are worthy of financial success. And this translates into taking bold, inspired actions to build wealth, to charge what you're worth, to ask for a raise, to seek out bigger opportunities for financial growth. You create an abundant life when you're focused on all that you do have and all that is available to you. Because focusing on abundance and prosperity instead of scarcity and lack shifts your mindset, your energy, and your actions towards success, right? It affects our actions. And the words we say and think about have a profound influence on creating our reality. Because the famous Tony Robbins, oh no, he likes to say, where focus goes, energy flows, right? Where focus goes, energy flows. What we think about, we bring about, right? What we think about, we bring about. Negative thoughts only give you negative results. Positive thoughts give you positive results. So who here would agree with that? Put your hell yeah in the chat. Yeah, because so if your thoughts, yeah, Abdul, yeah, Claire, hell yeah, Jamie, hell yeah. If your thoughts come from a scarcity mindset, then what is your focus on? A lack of money, your inability to make or have money. And that's what will play out in your life. Because focus on lack only brings more lack. If you think I can't afford it, whether it's true or not, you've created a mindset and even an identity of someone who can't afford stuff. This is also about our identity. If you say it over and over many times every day, then your focus is on all you don't have, and you are subconsciously giving yourself evidence that you can't afford stuff. Then you are creating roadblocks to afford stuff and will not be taking the actions to afford stuff. But if you think, I don't know how to make more money, you won't learn how to make more money, right? If you think clients won't pay me more, then you won't look for clients who will pay you more. But if your thoughts come from an abundant mindset, your focus is on building more abundance. And that will play out in your life because you are putting your actions and energies into building more abundance. Where focus goes, energy flows, right? If you think I have value to offer, people know me, I love that statement because it's true, you all have value to offer. You will charge the rate of someone with valuable expertise. If you think I am capable of earning large amounts of money, you will take the actions towards making large amounts of money. All right. Who's ready to send your ancestors packing back to the past where they belong? Hell yeah, send them packing. And now we're going to work on how to intentionally change your mindset to create new beliefs and new money truths. By changing your thoughts, you begin to change your habits and actions and build the pathways for financial success. So how do we do this? That's what we're going to do. Oh. Yes. I put 2. This is our first strategy. Oh, I have a number 2. It's our first strategy. So first we're going to start with the daily mindset work. Well, what does this look like? So this first strategy is we want to reframe limiting beliefs and replace them with positive, empowering mantras and statements filled with possibilities. Sonia, give me back my own money mindset. Yeah, take it back. You got to take it back, Sonia. Yeah, Abdul, our ancestors can hold your student loan debt. Totally, give it to them. Reframing beliefs helps eliminate self-sabotage and encourages healthier financial decisions. So intentionally replacing our old thoughts with new ones reprograms your mind to believe you can achieve your financial goals. Now, I know everyone's going to say, but I don't believe it. You don't have to fully believe it at first, but you need to feel it. You need to act as if. You need to act as if your future self, because if you can imagine your future self now and who you want to be, you will take those actions that successful, financially, peaceful person will be taking now. So you want to feel it. You don't have to believe it. And, it's how these positive words make you feel. And when you say the statements, you will see that you will start to feel a shift. And over time, your emotions will change and you will start to feel more confident and optimistic, leading you to take the actions to achieve your financial goals. So, but it is like going to the gym. You can't just do it one time. I mean, it's like if you want to be in shape in your body, how often do you got to work out? It's just like your mind. Daily. I work on my mindset every morning, every single day, right? So for example, because we got years and years with the old negative thoughts. So it's going to take time to really influence our new positive mindset. So for example, replace negative beliefs such as money is evil or I'm bad with money with empowering affirmations like money is a tool for freedom, right? That's a good one. Or I am capable of managing money well, right? You can learn how. So go back and look at the negative beliefs and fears about money you wrote down if you had time. No, I'm racing through this. I just want to make sure I get through everything, and I want to do Q&A too. I'm excited to do Q&A. So we're going to replace, you're going to replace those fears with positive mantras like these, or you can come up with your own. So these are just to get your mind thinking. My income is constantly increasing. Money flows to me freely and easily. I radiate success and prosper wherever I turn. I like that, Baywatch. Baywatch. Money is my friend. I love that. Money is my friend. I do work I love and well paid for it. Amy, when we do Q&A, bring that question because that's a really good question. I am worthy and deserving of wealth, right? You are. I'm a magnet for money. I'm in control of my financial destiny, right? We don't want to leave it up to fate. You don't want to leave it up to the market, right? Because the next one is opportunities are everywhere. They are once you start looking for them. And every action I take moves me closer to financial freedom. I create financial abundance by being myself and providing value to others, right? Just be yourself and give value. I can use my wealth to make it a positive impact in the world, right? So notice how you feel after saying one of these mantras many times, right? So like I said, you have to do it over and over. You have to plant the seeds in your mind to make them grow. And you have to do this every single day. All right. I'm excited for the third. I have the 3 big strategies. All right, this is number 2. The third one we're going to be doing, I'm going to take you through a guided visualization. So I'm very excited about that. This is 2. I don't know why I have 3, but let's change that. Just a second. I want you to go on a gratitude rampage, right? This is how you build that abundant mindset. So start with writing down at least 3 to 5 things you feel grateful at the start of every day. Like get your day off in a positive mindset. And then at the end of the day, jot down at least 3 to 5 things you feel grateful for about the day. And I recommend doing it before bed also because you are planting positive seeds in your subconscious to process while you sleep. That's why you have dreams. Your subconscious is like very active. And when you're in a scarcity mindset and focused on what you're missing, it's easy to stop paying attention to all the good things you do have in your life, right? When you focus on what you do have instead of what you don't, you're training your mind to look for abundance and to receive abundance. So be intentional about your gratitude. Really think about the things. Oops, sorry. I lost my train of thought. Think about the things that are abundant in your life. Sorry, guys. That was a senior moment. Like I have a great home, right? I appreciate that I have food in my refrigerator. I have a very comfy bed to sleep in, right? Like these small things. I'm healthy. I'm able-bodied, right? I have a sibling who's blind. He lost his vision as a teenager. I feel grateful for having sight, right? I'm grateful for the love I give and get from my husband and son. I have wonderful friends. I have amazing clients, right? And I love my silly cats, Carlos and Pablo. Gratitude should also be what you appreciate about yourself and what makes you special, right? Because 80% of the negative thoughts we have every day are usually about ourselves, all these terrible things we say about ourselves. So I want you to focus on what you do have, not who you aren't, but who you are. Like you appreciate your creative talents. I'm good at problem solving, or I love having a good sense of humor, things like that. And once you start focusing on what you appreciate in your external or internal world, you will actually feel abundant and rich in what you do have, right? Because money is not the only measure of wealth, right? You can feel rich in your life, and that can translate then to money. You have a rich life, great community, friends, family, work, all that stuff, talents. You'll start to see abundance show up more in your life, and you'll feel more positive and optimistic. So now just jot down, if you have time, a few things you feel grateful for and see how you feel. I'm going to read. Jamie wrote, my talents and skills are worth a lot of money. So true, Jamie. I want you to say that mantra to yourself every day. That's so good. Yeah, Claire, they will help you sleep better, listing what you're grateful for. Okay. So some of you guys may have heard this Oprah quote from me because I love it. Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough. Oprah, right? She's someone who knows a thing or two about manifestation. Okay, now this is going to be the fun one. This is the third strategy, in addition to all the unpacking of your mindset and everything, is visual. I'm going to take you through guided visualization, but just want to tell you a little bit about visualization first. It's a powerful technique that can help you reach your goals by practicing success. I think it was, who's that runner, the track Olympic champion, Tammy, forgot her last name. She won a shit ton of medals. Oops, sorry. In this Olympics. And she talked about how she already saw herself as the Olympic champion. Like she does visualization. She does journaling. She does all the things, some mantras, but a lot of Olympic athletes, professional athletes, successful entrepreneurs. I studied the mindset tools of Navy SEALs. This is one of their 4 mindset tools. So think about how powerful if they're teaching this to Navy SEALs. And they all use visualization techniques to achieve their goals. When you imagine every step of your success, you're reprogramming your mind and body to take the steps in real life. And you're training your brain to respond as if the outcome were true in the present moment, like the track star. our brains are actually unable to differentiate between real things that happen to us or imagined memories, right? Can you imagine? And studies have shown that visualizing yourself doing things helps you develop and improve your skills just by visualizing as if you were actually doing them. And this is one of my favorite studies. It was with basketball players, and they had two groups. They had one group do free throws only, practice their free throws. The other group, they only had them visualize practicing free throws, just visualizing. The group that just visualized free throws, they increased their free throws, say that 3 times fast, by 23%. The other group that actually did the practicing, 24% increase. That's just a 1% difference. Do you see how much they learned just from visualizing? Okay, so Abdul, thank you. Christine was good, authentic. Okay, Rick, and that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take you all through a meditation, not a meditation, a guided visualization, almost the same thing. So I want you to, you're going to visualize a financial goal you have, and don't worry about how to do it. I'm going to tell you how to do it. So you want to visualize it in great detail, how much you want, how you feel, what your life will look like. Because the more vivid you can picture your goal, the more real it becomes in your subconscious mind, and the more it drives you to take the action. All right. So you can screenshot this after. I want you all to get comfortable in your seat. And rest your hands on your lap and put your feet flat on the floor. And I invite you to close your eyes and take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. Let's take a few more deep breaths. Breathe in and slowly exhale out. Let's do one more. Breathe in and slowly out. And with each breath, feel your body getting more grounded and more present in this moment. Now, imagine yourself in a place that makes you feel completely at peace. Could be a beach, a forest, a quiet room, somewhere where you feel safe and relaxed. And take a moment to notice the sounds, the smells, and the feeling of being in this peaceful place. And as you settle into this calm space, shift your focus to your financial goals. Think of a specific financial goal you want to achieve. Maybe it's increasing your income a certain amount a month, or reaching a specific savings milestone, or it's the amount you want to earn in 2025. Now hold that goal in your mind and see it as clearly as possible. Now, imagine what your life looks like once you've achieved this goal. Engage all your senses and picture it as vivid and real as possible. Where are you? What does your environment look like? What do you feel under your feet or with your hands? What do you hear? Right? Do you hear the buzz of other people working? Do you hear birds singing? What do you smell? You smell coffee brewing, or maybe the ocean air or the woods. What are you doing? Picture yourself doing it. And who are you doing it with? Are you doing it with anyone? And picture them. And now that you've met your financial goal, what are the new opportunities available to you? Like, do you have more time for yourself, or your family, or the things that bring you joy? Are you giving back to causes you care about? Are you traveling more? Are you living in your dream home? Feel the ease and sense of freedom that comes from financial abundance. And now we're going to involve your emotions. So imagine you open a door and you go in and you find a room full of your friends and family. And they are toasting you. They are cheering for you. They're calling your name. And imagine the look on their faces as they celebrate your achievement and the person you have become. Feel their energy as much as you can. What are the positive emotions you feel? How proud are you? How confident do you feel? How grateful are you that you achieved this? Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the pride in yourself for having achieved this goal. And now bring your attention back to the present. Every action you take from this moment forward brings you closer to this vision. Now slowly bring your attention back to your room, your real room, and wiggle your fingers and toes and feel your body in your space. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. So, and here are some things you could be doing if you want to screenshot this when you're doing this on your own. If you want to do this as often as possible, in as much detail as possible, is you have a vivid and clear picture utilizing all your senses and your emotions to create exactly what you want to happen. And Claire, if you're still here, you can listen to the recording and you'll hear my special offer and you can do the guided visualization there. So that's what I'm gonna tell you the offer and then we're gonna do Q&A. So for you can hang in there. So if you weren't here from the start, I'm Diana, I'm a business coach and psychotherapist. Sorry for the quick transition from a calm state to a more energized, but I don't want to keep you guys too late. And I help business owners and freelancers like yourselves build more profitable businesses doing what you love. And thank you for coming to the workshop. I hope you guys learned a lot and enjoyed today as much as I did, because I really did. And I love all your comments and thank you for your vulnerabilities and your participation. And if anything you heard today has been beneficial or eye-opening and you would like some help directly from me, I am offering a handful of free one-on-one exploratory brainstorming consultations to people who came today, or if you're listening to the recording, if there are any spots left, you want to dig a little deep. If you want to dig a little deeper into your business and life, you want to look with me at what's working for you, what's not working for you, and what you really need to focus on to get there. And on the call, I'll help you find your personal blind spots, figure out the gaps, and more importantly, what you need to do to fix it to get your business moving. And if you want to know what it'd be like to work with me directly to help you in your business, we can talk about what that would look like too. We'll briefly share with you, in the work I do with my clients to grow their businesses. It not only includes mindset work around money and imposter syndrome feelings and building confidence, but I help people get clarity on what they really want to achieve, how to present your offering to others, how to track your ideal clients, how to charge your real value, and create a roadmap with strategies to get there. So Jalen, I have to give you, and apologize guys, this is one thing I didn't, I'm gonna give him the link, or I'll put the link in for my calendar. And let's get it, Diana, sorry. Okay, so let me put that in.
And after that, Dan, if you could just take a move to your right so people could see the very bottom of the bowl. There you go.
Okay, so that's where you can sign up for your free. It's 1 hour, so it's really a great value. There may be a few people here who did that with me, but if any of you have done that and you have further questions, we can set up a short call too. Because I am doing some other things that I haven't told you guys about. So maybe now, and you know what? I'm going to put my email in here too. If you miss this, you're doing the recording, you want to message me and you want to see if you can get in a slot. So Jalen, I think we have a little bit of time.
Yeah, we do have some time. There was a couple questions asked. I did mark down a really good one that I think could be asked, and that probably a lot of people might have in their minds. I think it was Rick who asked this a little earlier before, but is there a way to discern what is quote unquote abundant mindset from what is unrealistic or delusional?
Ah, I mean, that's the thing that people, that's a great question, Rick. And yeah, and Amy, then we'll get to yours after. Um, that it's not delusional, right, to say I have value to offer. Is it delusional to say I'm a magnet for money, right? I know this is an example I always use, but because most people know this, Muhammad Ali, right, who said, I'm the world's greatest boxer. And he said it over and over and over and over again. But he started saying it before he was, right? And because he said it so much, and he obviously trained hard, but he was training his brain to believe he was, and then he became it. And it really is true. If you listened to a lot of the Olympic athletes, yes, they did the training, but they will all say that it was their mindset work that really helped them win their medals. So it's not like toxic positivity. So you really, you you know, you can look at the glass half empty or half full. And how, if you look at it half full, that's how you start to see life. Rick, I don't know if you're here, if you want to come on, or at least with the sound or your video, and I want to make sure I fully gave you a satisfactory response. Is that Rick Gibson? No. Oh, no. Okay. I don't know, Jalen, do you think that was a helpful response?
Yeah, like I would say it is a little bit of toxic positivity, but you don't want to go overboard. Like you do have to be realistic of it, of just like you're not telling yourself like I'm a millionaire when you're not. Like it's nothing to that extreme, but you do have to believe certain things, especially if you are charging, which is going to be the next question. You do have to believe that like whatever you quote a client for a project that you do deserve that much. Now you do have to be realistic of going into the next question of like what the market will bear, and believing like what your audience, knowing what your audience is and what the market can take.
So
But
I'm gonna challenge you, Jalen,
sure.
on the millionaire thing first, and then we'll get to Amy's question. Is that if you really want to make $1 million or more, and you tell yourself that I am a millionaire, it doesn't necessarily mean you become a millionaire, but you might, more likely than if you don't say it, because the goal is how you influence your actions. Because if you really want to be a millionaire, then you have to do the behaviors and take the actions that that person who is a millionaire would take today. So that goes back to being your future self. The more you can live like that person, the more you will influence a positive future, right? Because we can't control the outcome, but we can influence it. And, just a quick example, I don't know if any of you knew Jim Carrey, this story about Jim Carrey, the comedian, but he was living out of his car. He had no money. He was trying to be an actor, and he wrote himself a check for $10 million. And fast forward, yeah, he did all the things, right, to get good at his craft. And fast forward to one day, he gets a call to be in, I think it was Dumb and Dumber. And guess how much money they paid him to be in that movie? $10 million. He's a big believer in manifestation. So you might think, well, that's Jim Carrey. I can't, do what he did. I would challenge you, but why not? Right? Okay. The people who say you want to be realistic, that's still a bit of a scarcity mindset. Because it's like, well, I can't be a millionaire. So you have to have the expansive thoughts. I'm a magnet for money, right? That could be something you could believe over time if you keep doing the things, right? So anyway, that was my challenge to you about this idea of being practical. And that leads into actually Amy's question. You can only charge what the market will bear, because being practical, looking at like the market, what are other people charging? believe it or not, I really believe we then buy into someone else's scarcity mindset. So in other words, if you are a graphic designer and people, I don't know, I'm making these numbers up. People, let's say, are getting paid $1,500 for a project, and that's what the market will bear. Well, you've just bought into the other graphic designer's scarcity mindset. There's probably a graphic designer out there who gets 5,000, 8,000, 10,000 bucks for a project. What's the difference? They just are bold enough to ask, and they are attracting, then they need less clients. This is the charge more, make more, right? You need less clients to get to the $8,000, right? So yes, you have to believe you have that value. And this is where we have to do the mindset work. Amy, do you want to come on? And if not, I can talk about it with Jalen. I want to make sure I gave you a satisfactory answer. You here, Amy? Want to come on? Okay. I don't, Jalen. Yeah, Jalen.
She should be able to unmute herself.
Yeah, can you unmute yourself? Are you here?
Yeah, hi.
There you go.
Hi, great. So yeah, what do you think about what I'm saying?
It definitely has value, although I do have a current client who actually just lowballed me on a quick update because I charged her usually $100, and then it just said, "Oh, it won't take the full hour, will it?" And that technically it didn't. So
you charge per hour.
it depends on the client, but for this particular client, it was, yes, I charge her by the hour.
I'm going to recommend everyone here no longer charge for the hour for that very reason. Right? When you're really good at something and you do it quickly, then you're making less money, right? I would
Right.
charge per project to start. What do you do, Amy?
I'm a SEO online marketing strategist.
Okay. I want you to double your fee, first of all. If she thinks it's too much, then you're not attracting the clients you want. Now, this is the biggest pushback I'm going to get from people. I'm going to lose business. My clients aren't going to hire me anymore. But I'm talking about new clients, or you can slowly raise your fee. You know, you can raise it by $25, right? Over time. But what you put out there and how you present yourself and how you market your work and how the confidence you talk about it, you'll call in the people that you want.
Okay,
Or the
that
people,
sounds good.
right?
Yes.
It's true, right? People often think, you know, I'll put something out there and see if I can attract those clients. But the market will tell you, this goes back to what will the market bear? If you put out there, I'm charging, you know, $200 or $500 for this project, this SEO project, there's going to be people who pay for that for sure. Like you don't want the people who are going to nickel and dime you. Those are not, right? I find the people that really, you know, give you a hard time about money are the ones who take up the most energy. They're not, because they're in scarcity mindset and they're not feeling expansive for themselves and they're projecting that onto you, right? So you need to get people who are willing to be, if they're not willing to be expansive for themselves, at least for me, my coaching clients, then I can't help them make more. They have to be willing, right? I know Emily said only 100. I know it's a little shocking.
Yeah, I know. And then I have other clients really quickly. I did request a raise and they agreed to it. So yeah, it depends, I guess.
I would also say, someone also just wrote this in the chat as well. Even if the job doesn't take up a full hour and you want to charge them for the hour, charge them for the full hour. Just say like, hey, like that's my minimum is an hour, like no matter what, even if it takes less. Like Sonia just wrote, if you do charge by the hour, have a minimum hour charge of 100 an hour with a 2-hour minimum. Some people do that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll do that going forward. Thank you.
You're welcome. And Lila, am I saying your name right? Lila, do you want to come on for a minute? Just, I know it's not quite a question, but it's kind of a question. You also have to know how to get clients with that type of money. Yes. What you put out, listen, there's 270 million people in this country. There's what, 6 7 billion on the planet. Oh, there she is. I'm gonna have you come on. The pie is huge. There's I mean, some of them are children, right? But let's say half are adults. Like there's unlimited amount of market for you. It's how you market your work, right?
Don't you
So,
think that depends on what industry you're in and what niche you serve, though? Like I'm an independent documentary producer.
okay.
There's only so many people who are making independent documentaries that can pay people to help them. So how do I find, and the people who are working, like with Ken Burns, for instance, who I'm not interested in working with necessarily, but like the people who work with him aren't going to leave until they die. You know what I mean? Like the good spots are taken. And I've worked in the entertainment industry for 25 years. And a lot of times if you ask for a raise, you can be very disposable. Even, I mean, I'm award winning and I'm still disposable. So I would love to know how to find the kind of clients that will pay me more. But to me, it makes, there's also this idea that maybe the industry is too competitive. So can my mindset help me get over a competitive industry?
I mean, yeah, listen, there is a reality to, I know I've met with some people that do some work that industry's dying. I'm not saying documentary films, I don't believe are, and I have actually worked with a lot of documentary filmmakers. I know a lot about that. And I feel like documentary filmmakers, it reminds me, it's very similar to, I used to do a lot of work with nonprofits. You guys have amazing stories you're telling. It's a great cause. And I think the mindset behind it feels similar to me behind a documentary filmmaker and the people who would fund it feel similar to nonprofits who are trying to get donors, right? That you want to, that there does need to be a whole mindset shift. But that mindset shift has to start with you to educate those people on all the work that goes into it. And I know that it may not be a financial investment, a return on their investment. That's maybe part of the issue. Like if it's a feature film, obviously the goal is for, producers to make more money for people who fund it. But in any industry, even documentary filmmaking, I'm not saying it's easy to find those people, but if we already have a preconceived notion that people just won't fund documentary films, it's a labor of love, I'm going broke trying to do it, I'm award winning and I still can't get the funding. You hear kind of the negative, and I'm not saying it's not based on what you experience, it is.
I don't have those feelings.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have those feelings. Like I mean, I do have a reality. Like for instance, right now I'm trying to negotiate a contract to get what I feel like I deserve, and I might lose the job. But I also know what I deserve, and I'm going to stand by that. But
Exactly.
I also haven't worked for 8 months because there's, I mean, I've never gotten a job through a resume.
Wait,
It's all
I'm gonna
networking.
interrupt you for a minute.
I'm sorry. I'm like
No, it's
going
okay.
on too long.
No, because everybody has their individual issues. Why don't you
Sure.
sign up for some time with me so we can really unpack it?
Sure.
Because I did meet with a documentary filmmaker from one of these workshops, and by the end of our call, because she was saying I get in the room with people with money and they won't give me money, and then when we really, and I'm not saying this is you, but when we really unpack things, she discovered that she actually had some thoughts, it wasn't necessarily about money, but a resistance that was holding her back from pitching and getting the people she wants. Now, I'm not saying that you're going through that, but everybody does have some kind of blockages.
Sure.
So let's find out what yours are. It is a bigger lift than a graphic designer. I mean, it's a big lift, right? And so let's talk more about it. But I can guarantee this: if the beliefs are it's so hard to get money. And I'm not saying that's not been your experience in the industry. It's so hard to get money and people don't want to fund my film. That won't get the funding. It is, you have, like, what are your other choices? But to really change, like you said, I'm sticking to my guns. Like, I have value to offer and I need to get paid what I'm worth, right? And, you know, I raised $2 million for a health club chain startup. I was a social worker. I didn't know anything about it. It took me a long time. I didn't have any connections. And I learned how to put myself out there and meet people. And I mean, took 4 years. I had 25 notebooks filled of numbers. I'm not saying it's an easy process, but like your project, that was a big project. And it was a big learning curve. But I had to have the belief that I had a lot of value to offer these investors. And I did raise the 2 million. So it's a bigger the project, the harder the process, but it has to start with the beliefs. Okay, so sign up for a consultation and we'll dig into your stuff. I look forward to it.
Thank you.
There was another question, and this might be the last one, depending on how long this will take. But it was a question, I think it was from Elaine, regarding the visualization process. Should I be visualizing a money-making goal in process, like how I might make my money being in that role, not just the want, but how I might actually reach it?
Who was that? I'm sorry.
I think it was Elaine,
Elaine, could you come on?
if she's still
Okay, well,
there.
she said eek. Maybe she doesn't want to. Could you put your sound on? I just wondered what the vibe is. Okay.
Sorry, I'm here. It was more while we were doing it, I got distracted. So when you're doing the visualizing, and you were like, what do you see? What do you smell? Like, I got all that, but I was like, should I be on set right now? Should I be creating? Should I be in, like, is it the actual role or is it, I want $1 million? That's kind of that's what I was unclear on.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Well, listen, there's no perfect science to how you visualize. All visualizing a positive future will help you. Okay, that being said, I had started with asking people to come up with a financial goal. So let's say you're on set and maybe what do you do? Are you in the film industry? Directing, producing, right. So, okay, so maybe you're picturing yourself directing and producing media, film, but I want you to think about how much you're going to make. Because again, we can influence our future, right? So you first picture the goal, like there's me making, I don't know, I'm making up a number, 300,000, 500,000. I'm picturing myself. Then you also want to really get vivid, detailed on picturing yourself, Elaine, doing that work. Like I want you to see who the people you're directing, who are you working with as a producer? What is the set? Like, get as granular as you can, because the more granular you can, the more you bring it to life. Right? It was Gabby Thomas. That was the track star, right? She pictured herself running over that finish line. That's what you have to do. You know, whatever what's equal to your finish line. You're welcome. You're welcome. I hope that's helpful. Any other last questions? You guys hung in there, right? This is amazing. Well, now's your chance. Now's your chance. If you have any other, let's see. Here's my consult. Oh, yeah, somebody asked. Yes, the consult is free. Yep. The 1 hour is free. And somebody asked me, I might have put a link in that had 2 things on it. It's not a clarity consultation. That's 30 minutes. It's the brainstorming, which is an hour. So don't sign up for the clarity unless you only want 30 minutes. But if you want an hour, sign up for the brainstorming. And tips on focusing on one goal. And can you unmute yourself so I can find out a little bit more about that? She's still here. Tips on focusing on one goal.
Oh, I mean, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Hi, okay. Yeah, I've kind of shifted from being in a space where I wasn't really doing anything because of things going on in life. And now I'm moving towards like kind of being awake and wanting to do so many ideas and lots of areas that I've worked in the past and would like to follow, but sometimes I get overwhelmed by setting these goals and sticking to one, or like fracturing my energy here and there. And just any tips on like how to stay with one thing to the finish and then like continuing to the next thing.
I feel you, because I'm somebody who's done a lot of things in my life, and what I learned was the more you can focus on one, the better you get at that one thing. Doesn't mean you can't do other things. I would first say sign up for a consultation with me so I can help you figure out which idea, because it's only a guess. Is this idea, people are afraid I'm going to fail if I do that idea, or is this idea going to be a better idea? So we need to have an educated guess, and
Mhm.
then you just have to choose one. You can't do it all at once. And you may come up, a tip might be coming up with the mantra that is, and stay focused on this idea. Just do this idea. I can do that idea down the road. I'm just going to stick with this idea. Like, you really have to choose and then take action, because when you're getting something off the ground, there's an educated guess about it and based on research and what's out there. And I find that people fail when they give up too soon, because it's sometimes a marathon, not a sprint. Yeah, sometimes there are bad ideas. Listen, 80% of all restaurants fail. I'm working
Mhm.
with a restaurant owner. We're going to try to turn her business around. But there are a lot of rookie mistakes that why restaurants that many fail. And it's not about the service or the quality of the food or the look of the place. It's usually they haven't learned the skills and the business acumen to keep their eye on the money. And if you guys have 5 minutes, I will tell you a quick story on how our negative thoughts, I want to finish with Anne, but of clients who unraveled a huge business because they were afraid to look at their numbers and afraid to look at their finances. So, there's a lot of reasons people fail, and it's not necessarily that their product offering or service isn't good. So we'd have to take a look at what are the things that you're doing to make it solid, sustainable, and to make it thrive. Yeah, I'd love to hear, not now, but in our consultation, I really would love to hear your ideas. What I like to do with someone like you is I look at all your strengths, your skills, your talents, your expertise, things you've done, your experience, with what you love to do and why, because sometimes we love to do something. I want to know why. And then we kind of put it together and we choose one or two pathways to use your top skills and strengths and talents and things you love to do, right? So it helps narrow it down. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. If there are no more questions, I'll tell my quick story for all who want to hear it. So I had a client who was Ample Hills Ice Cream, and she's given me permission to talk about this. Jackie, she was in business with her husband. If you know Ample Hills, they were very successful. They had, I think, 17 locations. And in March 2020, they went into bankruptcy. They sold what was a $53 million business for $1 million. They lost everything. They had 2 kids. They had to move out of their apartment. They had nothing. And the reason was not because of the pandemic. It was because of, and this is what we unpacked. That's when I met her. I met her after they failed. And we unpacked her money mindset. And we discovered she was raised by 2 artists who believe money's bad. And she didn't even realize that in the business, and I don't know her husband's background because I only work with her, but I suspect he didn't really keep his eye on the money either. So who knew what was going on with his background? But they over leveraged themselves. They built a factory for 7 million. It was only supposed to cost 4 million. They grew too fast. They basically just over leveraged themselves. They weren't looking at the numbers. And so they were left with nothing. She felt worthless. They were devastated. She gradually, we worked together, and she shifted her mindset. She was very against this idea that I should make a lot of money, that she should make a lot of money. But she started to realize if her and her husband could rebuild a business and be successful, then all the people that work for them are successful. And all those people take care of their families. She was able to change her mindset. They restarted, they got investors. It was called the social outpaced Ample Hills. Fast forward, Ample Hills went into bankruptcy. The new owner, just last December, Jackie and Brian's investors bought it at auction for $150,000 and got all the intellectual rights and all in 3 locations. Fast forward, unfortunately, I was not working with Jackie at the point where they made a contract with the investors and they only took 29% equity, and he fired them. They were fired by the investors. They were left with nothing again. I thought, oh my God, she's not learning these lessons. Fast forward to now, they worked for Tyra Banks for a while. Tyra Banks had some ice cream. They saved some money. And now they're starting a whole new concept. I can't say what it is. It's not ice cream. They have an investor who is been built companies. So now there was somebody who knows how to manage the money, and it's a franchise model. And that is really the way to go with a restaurant or food business. So anyway, she's one example though, that I think she, even though she's like 50 years old now, that she feels they have a third business in them, because now they know what not to do, right? There was someone else in that same, it was a coaching group I was doing with business owners. She refused to change her mindset. She was from Mexico, and her husband had a Mexican treats business. They had 3. And she said, I don't do this for the money. I just need enough to take care of our son. She was very insistent that she not become rich, because in Mexico, her family was wealthy and poor. And the poor part of her family were the good and the fun ones, and the wealthy actually did exploit people. And her parents taught her, don't be anything like them. So she will never come around, and that's okay, but she's not, their businesses are floundering. So that's not helping her or her son or her husband. So, or her staff, right? So anyway, that's kind of a big example of how your relationship to money and your thoughts about it can undo a good business. Because she has a great, people love what she has to offer, but they're still not looking at the numbers. So they're avoiding because they don't, deep down, it's distasteful to be successful. Anyone else? I have so many examples. I have a client who she was successful. She was a partner in a accounting firm. She made a great salary, but she believed she didn't deserve any of it. And she was practically homeless when I met her because she gave it away as gifts. She gave it to people, like really undid herself. And she had a lot of trauma. I mean, that's the thing. If you've had a lot of trauma, you need intensive help. Like she was a therapy patient. She wasn't a coaching client, because that can affect how, keep you from feeling capable and optimistic and positive. So that's another example of how people sabotage themselves because she didn't feel deserving. It was the trauma, the abuse made her feel so shitty about herself that she didn't deserve to keep the money. So that's the other thing too, is that you could make the money. Now you have to keep it, right? You have to do the things and feel deserving of keeping it. So that's also where your mindset comes in, because if you're someone like her, and a lot of people have it in a lesser degree, they don't really feel deserving. And this is going deep, but partly they don't feel deserving is not just messages that you learned. But if parents do not prioritize you as a kid, your emotional life, they not prioritize your emotional needs, you then deep down don't feel worthy and deserving to prioritize your needs. I'm sorry if I'm getting too deep, but that is something I come up across a lot.
Do you have
that-
one more final thought, Diana, or any like last final words of wisdom? Because I do want to be respectful.
One final last thought. Do this work every day. If you can't remember the strategies, listen to the recording and work on your mindset. I guarantee it will help you change the way you think about everything in life, really. And sign up for consultation. And if you have specific issues, I want to get into them with you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking time in your day to lead this workshop. It's always a great but slightly tough conversation for some people, just reflecting and realizing these things that we've been taught all these years are just what we've been dealing with. But hopefully people feel a little bit more confident in themselves, and hopefully they'll be able to slowly shift their mindsets. It is a process. It's not going to happen overnight. But hopefully you can start working at it and get those more of the big bucks instead of being lowballed and finding the wrong clients and things like that. But that's it for me. I will email everyone later today with the recording link. You will have access to it for 30 days. Definitely do the visualizations as well. And yeah, I hope to see you at the next event. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, Jalen. Thanks, everyone, for coming and staying so long.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah.